Jerome Wright here again, and once again you're joining me on my Jerome Wright channel. Alright, in this video I'm going to try to make an amazing video to give you some type of understanding about what was going on truly behind the scenes with Michael Jackson and what was going on in his head, why he was behaving the way he was, why he was performing the way he was, and why his likeness dramatically changed from where he was as a child through to his blackness to this appearance here. Now, a lot of you may thought that this image of Michael is unusual and he messed himself up. Well, I see it differently. Michael actually had perfected a look of himself, of what he was mirroring himself after, okay, and what he was following. I'm going to show you some things about this that's going to truly blow you away, so please stay tuned. I only have 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to go through this as fast and quick as possible. If you mirror this image of Michael, thanks to my friend Mike that did this for me, you come up with this. An alien looking guy, down with the reptilian look and everything there in the head. You see that? That's what you come up. Look at the eyes, people. Look at the mouth. Look at the collar. If you mirror this image of Michael, I'm going to back away a little bit. You come up with an alien Michael. You see that? That's what you come up with. Look at the eyes. Look at the way the hairline is. You know, it's an ancient look, an ancient royal look. Look at the way the hairline comes down in the middle. It's an ancient royal look that comes up of Michael in this look. I'm going to show you something. Here's a couple mirrored images of, I believe this is of Da Vinci's. You see that alien look right there? That gets produced. And of the Last Supper with Leonardo da Vinci, it produces a similar image that Mike actually has in that mirrored image. These reflections in the mirror, that's why you always see the man in the mirror. They're telling you that in the mirror, there's a reverse scenario of them, meaning that there's a dimensional look that you have to look for them in. The man in the mirror, meaning that what you're seeing now is not truly him. The one that's in the mirror in the reflected image, like here, is who they are. Now, who is Michael stating that he is? It's going to go real quick, people. I'm trying to make it go real quick. All right. Let me move these images out of the way. I got to go quick. All right. Here's another image of Michael here. Who is Mike saying that he is? Well, I know this man's face. I know who this is, and I know where Mike got this look from. I've actually seen another similar painting in the Otto Dix collection. And again, it's an ancient rooted image. And you see images of this like in Kingships and Queenships, in those old movies of like where the character is like named Christian or Dracula, or in those type of movies, those gothic style like movies, and where not the like the Bram Stoker the Stoker Dracula movies, but I'm talking about where that look is there, and that fella looks like he's like an English type fella with the thick round glasses, almost like that Beatle look. This is what this is all about. Now I'm going to show you something. It's going to keep going, people. Hold on, because I only got 15 minutes, so I gotta wrap this up. This is the man that Michael is trying to look like. The man in the middle. Michael is making himself look like the Renaissance painting images of Jesus. Notice that this guard is seemingly reaching over, has a handful of Jesus's penis there. This also is related to Michael's own self and crotch grabbing. The military style clothing that Michael wears, Michael has taken all of this in combination and put it on himself. The image of Jesus, the images of the soldiers, and the reference of everything that is happening here, which is talking about genetic manipulation, as in this Renaissance art. Mike has incorporated it into his stage plays, his songs, everything. Mike is relating to himself as being genetically in union with Jesus. Where did he get this idea from? The ancient rooted kingships and queenships and ancient rooted religion in our world. This is where Mike got this from. It's in his paintings, it's in his character, it's in everything that he does. I'm going to keep going. Even the 2 finger signs up that y'all want to believe that Michael was doing the peace sign, this is all tied back to Jesus. The clothing, the military. I'm going to come up with some other. Here we go here. You see the soldier? You see the soldier grabbing at the crotch to Jesus? See, that's a handful of paintings, people. I mean, it looks like the soldier's leaning away, but you see the bulge in Jesus' clothing that creates the crotch. I'm going to show you other images that actually relate to that. I'm going to keep going. Here's Michael in that military-like wear and attire and grabbing his crotch. The same related symbolic message that he's stating there. I'm going to keep going. Here's another close-up of that soldier grabbing at the crotch of Jesus. It's my position that Michael Jackson has incorporated all of this into who he had became on stage. Even the likeness. Look at the face of that man. That's the likeness that Michael was pushing for. And he achieved it. Here's another image of that, the likeness of Jesus. Look, with the royal robe, with the cross. Look at the fingers, people. Look at the face. Michael written all over it. Everything. The fingers, the royalty. Remember Michael on stage dressing in some cases in guards uniforms, then in king uniforms and crowns and this, that, the third. All of it tied together. This is all Michael in the end. Look at this. Everything all twisted into one. The fingers, the look, the clothing, the attire, everything. So Michael was not as crazy as we all thought. Here, when Michael's clothing gets mirrored, I'm going to show you something. Even here in this likeness of Jesus, look at the fingers. This is the likeness that Michael was pushing for, people. In that mirrored image. What did I do with it? I gotta keep it moving. I don't know when oh, here's the mirrored image here. In that mirrored image, the clothing, you see that? In the mirrored image of Jesus, the clothing actually becomes the robes of what Jesus is wearing. This is what is going on here in this. The clothing and all, the robes. Look at this, people. Here's a closer likeness right here to what I just showed you in that mirrored image. Right there. I have other videos here about the reptilian likenesses and that of Jesus with the Vatican and Nervi Hall. Mike is showing you this is a reptilian bloodline. This is what Michael pushed for. This is what Michael is showing you. That he is carrying genes that were created for him, through him. He was a sacrificial vessel through ancient rooted royalty and ancient rooted religion. Everything that Michael had became is based on my findings with those two entities that are practicing in a cult-like ritual which calls for a cauldron-like change of mankind's genes through an elite of people that rise to a peak in fame that is unmanageable. We all equate it with being something evil and demonic, but those that you believe to be giving you the word of truth and of wisdom and of religion are the ones that are behind it all. Let me keep it going, people, because I only have a few minutes here. Again, here's another image, a painting, and the likeness of Jesus. You see all of this here? All of these artworks, these Renaissance era artworks, Michael went back in and incorporated into his stage wear with the likeness of Jesus, and his songs, everything, are playing out these Renaissance paintings and the message, the underlying message behind them, which relate to genetic manipulation and altering of mankind's genes. I'm going to show you something else. There's that military uniform again. There's the crotch grabbing again, and he points out or points down as if the he's giving something away or throwing something away. I have that here in one image. As if he's giving something away, and some of his stage things are either he's throwing his hat. That people is being described by here, as you see Jesus having his script. It's genetic manipulation. All you have to do is figuring on all of these characters in a pool, a cauldron pool of genes that Jesus has sacrificially used his body for. He used himself as a cross-referencing point, and then he's giving out the genes. And that's what he's showing. Micheal is simulating the same exact thing that is actually going on in those Renaissance artist paintings. And Micheal has transformed himself into a likeness, an earlier on Renaissance likeness of Jesus. And his uniforms and his portrayal of all of that, kingships and queenships, which are all involved, Micheal is stating that he is all of that characterized into one. And this is what is going on. This here. I'm going to show you something else. Hold on, we're going to keep going here. Here's another one where Jesus is supposedly raising Lazarus. Look at Jesus. There's encryptions in here too. This painting is a readable painting, by the way, people. I have decoded it. There's images there. It's all about the ancient genes of the monkey. But anyway, look how Jesus is grabbing his crotch and he's holding up them two fingers. Michael Jackson. Look at the likeness. Here, let me get those two figures up again. Hold on. This is what Micheal. Look at the face, the monkey likeness of the face of that of Micheal. Look, of Jesus. Look at the crotch grabbing. Look at the two fingers. Look at Michael's face. And then look at the reptilian side. The mirrored image. That's what this is all about. Am I through this yet? Here's a larger image. Micheal had transformed himself into the likeness of Jesus. Here's the two fingers up. How many minutes do I got? I got 12 minutes. I'm going to close this video out, people. All of Micheal likenesses, everything about Micheal, the tossing of the hats, all of his stage performance, it can be related to the Renaissance art. Here's finally a picture of Micheal being booked into the Santa Barbara, I guess, jail there, whatever. You see that picture there and his likeness? This is what Micheal was taking himself back to. Look at all of the Renaissance era paintings and before of Jesus Christ. And this is the image that Micheal was going after. This is what Micheal was doing to himself. Everything about his stage performances, everything. Micheal, just like in many of those other figures that are in there. Look at Jay-Z talking about Jehovah. You hear Eminem. A lot of these artists get to a level of status and they start talking about Jesus all of a sudden and their God, and their music is based on God and all of this. This is what this is all about. The people that they're dealing with in this genetic organization that's causing for the genetic manipulation of people allows for them to be genetic sacrificial vessels, and these people rise to the level to where they're saying they're doing something godly. Everything that they're doing is godly, and it involves bisexuality, the making of miracle babies based on a bunch of gene manipulation and cross-contamination. Is based on religion, it's based on royalty. And if you take all of that and twist it up into one, everything that Micheal is there. Questionable sexual preferences, all of this is there with Micheal. And this is where this cult thing comes in at. And my name is Jerome Wright. I'm going to end that video there, but I'm going to leave you with the mirrored look because I only got 1 minute left. But if you mirror this image, that image right there of Micheal, you come up with this. It's my finding and my position that Michael Jackson is making himself, he was making himself into the image of Jesus. I'm going to end that video there. My name is Jerome Wright. You know how to find me. Just Google my name. Thank you. His likeness dramatically changed from where he was as a child through to his blackness to this appearance here. Now, a lot of you may thought that this image of Micheal is unusual and he messed himself up. Well, I see it differently. Michael actually had perfected a look of himself, of what he was mirroring himself. Jerome Wright here again, and once again you're joining me on my Jerome Wright channel. Alright, in this video I'm going to try to make an amazing video to give you some type of understanding about what was going on truly behind the scenes with Michael Jackson, and what was going on in his head, why he was behaving the way he was, why he was performing the way he was, and why he's after, okay, and what he was following. I'm going to show you some things about this that's going to truly blow you away, so please stay tuned. I only have 15 minutes, so I'm going to try to go through this as fast and quick as possible. If you mirror this image of Michael, thanks to my friend Mike that did this for me, a little bit, you come up with an alien Michael. You see that? That's what you come up with. Look at the eyes. Look at the way the hairline is. You know, it's an ancient look, an ancient royal look. Look at the way the hairline comes down in the middle. It's an ancient royal. You come up with this. An alien looking guy. Down with the reptilian look and everything there in the head. You see that? That's what you come up with. Look at the eyes, people. Look at the mouth. Look at the collar. If you mirror this image of Michael, I'm going to back away.